Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw, and I need to change that. Hot mess this morning. Trying to get my show connected to Rumble. I don't know if that's working right now. We'll have to go see. But today I'm going to go over my Jentel from yesterday, and then I have some thoughts over coffee. Whoops, let's turn the volume down. So don't know if Rumble's chat is showing up on the chat. Yay. I was worried about that. Okay, it looks like it's just playing my intro video over and over there. I don't know how to fix that. Darn it. I don't know how to fix that. It's working? Okay, so if you guys are working on Rumble, so you can see me. It's not like when I'm looking at it. Oh my God, there I am. Okay. I have done it. I have figured it out. I don't know how I pulled that off this morning with very little sleep. I have a very old, sweet black lab named Rosie. And she doesn't care that I need more sleep. And she likes to wake me up every 3 hours to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So I'm running on very little sleep. But we figured it out. So now you guys can subscribe to me on Rumble. Because after the RV and, well, until then too. I'm gonna get my own thing going on Rumble with subscribers and all that. So if you're on Rumble, I think you can do it while we're live. So go ahead and subscribe to Rumble so I can get my followers up and my subscriptions up. So just so you know, if I seem a little out of sorts, I'm the girl who would growing up would, the clock in the car, when the time would change, I'd just leave it there and do the math until it changed again because I couldn't figure out how to figure it. So I have over the years had to figure out, and I owned a radio station. Had 8 different programs and 100 different settings that all had to be in sync in order for that to stream on the radio and get sound and everything else to all the right places. And I figured that out. So here we are trying to figure out how to connect everything through the streaming service with, and I don't really go watch videos and get instruction. I really should do that, but I don't. I just mess around until I figure it out. And we have. Also, it's been since, I don't know, a couple weeks before Christmas, my schedule has been just ridiculous. And that's my fault. I did it to myself. Oh, well, I could do that. I could do 8 hours of reading straight with no break a day and a show before that. And then emails and healings and everything else. So I'm coming up. And I don't know if you've ever experienced this at work, but the three days before vacation, and you're just a mess, you just dragging. But I'm pretty proud of myself that even though that is where we're at, got the streaming service connected to Rumble, and I don't know why that was so difficult. One thing was I didn't have. I just had my account there. I didn't have my channel. Now I have my channel, Fallawsophy. So, let's do some Jentel. And maybe I could change the banners. How do I change my name on here? I am the worst person. When I got married, most of everything still says Jennifer Fallaw. Okay. So that's easier now. Also, not I'm also someone who slacks on running around changing my name everywhere. I hope that's not a problem at the RV. Hope they give me some slack on getting to the DMV. But I do have divorce papers that say this is my Jennifer Fallaw is my name now. Okay, Jentel. Yesterday, I went into meditation for 2/17/25 for interdimensional meditation. And I spoke with Called In Jesus and the whole Archangel team. And when I walked in, I don't know if you can hear my stomach growling, but of course. I think I need an assistant. I think I do. All right. So I walked in and I had this white, shimmery, kind of like glittery, silvery dress on. Okay. And when I looked at that, I thought abundance, kind of diamondy. RV News. I asked, what is the plan now? And I believe it was Michael who spoke. The completion of other tiers is finishing up. So people are getting paid. This is true. Outside of Jentel, I've received confirmations on that. So other tiers are finishing up. I racked a poster rate tomorrow. That was today. So God have mercy on me. I racked poster rate today. Please. Thank you. That would be nice. Okay. And notifications Wednesday. Now, Iraq, because of the Gazette, could post, they could have a rate Wednesday and immediately send out notifications. I don't know. But at this time, that as of Monday, that was the plan. I have not got any information about any wrenches in the spokes, any reasons to hold this up. Everybody is expecting rate notifications anytime now. So we've gotten up to 4B in this process, and then we'll do 4B, and then it'll be tier 5, and that will be the in-country public RV, and probably after announcement to go to gold. I have a sneaky suspicion that if all goes well with this, now if all doesn't go well, he won't do it. But there's a possibility that he could do it at the State of the Union address. This keeps popping into my mind. Now, I could be wrong, but that would be cool. Here's the State of the Union. Everything's going to crap because of all these evil guys and Biden and everybody and the fiat money system, and everything's going into the toilet. If he does that, I would expect that we would see some kind of crashes, some justification for that in the public eye beforehand. But, everything's going in the toilet with this monetary system, and we are going to gold. And that would kick off tier 5. But I assume that there must be some period of time there where you give everybody like a couple weeks or something to get ready for that. Like as such, on April 1st or whatever, we're starting our in-country RV. Coming in the news. I got bullet points. Strong earthquake coming. This was on Monday. And then after that, I heard Jordan, or Jordan, however we want to say it. And then after that, confirmation. I think they're talking about Kash Patel. Not sure. Next one. News emerges about the Twin Towers, and I actually saw the Twin Towers before they were hit. And then linemen on strike or off the job. Random one, elevators. I don't know if that's connected to the Twin Towers. And then the last one was court decision. We're looking for a court decision that's going to be significant in some way for our movement or moving forward. Either financial or political. But right now, it just seems like everything that they're doing politically is lining up for the financial transition. And that is Nasara Jasara. And I'm excited. Now, aside from the Jentel and things that I get, I talk to some people sometimes who know some people. Okay? And they are very excited. Like, not like, oh, people say this is going to happen on such and such a date. No, the intel has shifted from that to this happened. Or this person got paid. So, we're good. I think we're good. There's a lot of things we don't know going on. But I think me, the angels, and other people that talk to other people are all in agreement that we're right there. Any moment now, we could get our notification so we could start our tier. So when you finish up all the other tiers, what do you do after that? You move to the next one. That's where we're at. Okay? So there's no need to wake up and say, oh my gosh, I'm giving up on this. Well, I wouldn't do that. Not now. Plus, we don't give up, do we? We've been through all kinds of things together. And that leads me to thoughts of coffee. So I was thinking the other day, I talked to a lot of people all day long. Open up phone. I text myself my notes, so he must have the phone. So we were talking. And this one lady, she's a senior. She wants to get in a med. And like a lot of people, they're thinking, okay, well, someone's passed, divorce, whatever. And I get in a med bed, and then I'm independently wealthy. Maybe I'll find somebody. Right? And we were laughing about it because it's something we never really even considered. It's okay, well, so you're 75 and you get in a med bed. And now you look like 35, 40, something like that. And you go out to meet somebody. And you're independently wealthy, and so you've got, this whole new group of people, or a lot of different people coming into your life, okay? And so like a regular 35-year-old comes along. And they ask you, how old are you? She's like 75. I mean, like, no one ever thought about this. Like, and then you go back and they're like, what? What are you, like a witch? I mean, like, what the hell? Are you crazy? No, I'm 75. I mean it. Really. And then they tell them about the med beds, of course, and they'll understand when that rolls out onto the street. But at the time, it's going to be kind of strange. So I think that this RV med bed truther community is more important in your life than you think. Because I believe that we'll all gravitate towards each other in the end. There's going to be people with humanitarian projects. People are going to be starting retreats. There's friends that you've made online that maybe you would never have met up with in person, but will say, hey, you know what? We've got this event going on. You want to come down? I've got this retreat going on. You want to come down? So it's going to be interesting. Because these are the people that, you know, we talk to online and we listen to online. But these are the people that we're not going to have to explain anything to. They're not going to be freaked out because we look younger, but we're older. In actuality, the 75-year-old, 35-year-old is probably in better health than the regular 35-year-old. But they'll probably be like, that's a little bit weird for me. Okay. So we might just have these friendships and these groups of people that'll last a lifetime. And I think that's really interesting to think about. Yeah. I think that these groups of friends that you have now will just grow and grow and grow, and you'll always have somewhere to go. Some people think, well, I've had all this money, and probably more than I even expected. Like, well, I hang out with the family and I got a couple places to live. I mean, what am I going to do after that? Well, you'll get lots of invitations. You'll have lots of places to go. You don't have to buy a house in every place that you love because somebody's going to have one, or hotel or resort or whatever. It's going to be fun. I'm excited about it. I think that's fun. But you're not going to have to explain yourself to these people. It's not like somebody brand new who's like, oh, you're a what? And you got into a what? And you made your money how? And start from the beginning. So we're going to find comfort in our groups of friends that have gone through this journey together. I mean, think about me right now. Of course, I'm not doing anything like that. But like if I were to go out and like get on a dating site right now to meet some kind of normal guy, and I don't even know how to handle it, especially after I get into a med bed or something like that. I don't even know how to handle that, how to explain myself to this person. I go out there and say, first problem is, well, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, never mind. I don't even want to explain it to you. You're never going to believe me. You're never going to believe me. And so it would probably have to be somebody who already knows who I am. I mean, can you imagine that? Me explaining them, well, I go into the 6th level of heaven and I talk to archangels and, for the truther community, because Nasara and Jasara is coming, and I tell everybody what's going on, day by day for the RV, which is the revaluation of global currencies, and, we're going to cash in our bonds, and we're all going to be, millionaires, billionaires, and then we're going to get into med beds. We're all going to be younger and have, and all this, and they're going to be like, you're a whack job. Okay. So it's like, I'm just hanging out with my girls over here at the house now. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know if I want to have that conversation yet. I think I'll just wait. So it's going to be so interesting. I mean, even the whole med bed situation itself, can you imagine? Like, what if you had like a class reunion or something? And you're somebody who's like over 50, and you go to your class reunion or something, and you walk in, and everybody's like, what the hell? Why do you look so good? That's not even fair. I mean, what are you eating? Give us an opportunity to tell everybody about it if it hasn't rolled out in the street yet. But it's going to be so crazy, the situations we encounter after that. Now, here's some of the things. I'm not like I don't report about med beds. I don't have any inside contacts. That's like a Sky thing, and that's not my thing. But in the readings, I've gotten some information just from the angels and for other people when they ask. So, from what I gather, I do believe we're getting tickets at the exchange redemption appointments. Okay? If they don't do it there, I don't know where they're going to do it. But I do believe these things are real. Somebody asked me, like, I don't know how many years it's been now. It's all a blur. The waiting, the dark ages is what I'm going to call it. But they asked me about it, and I didn't know anything about anything like that. Never really heard about it. And she was asking me, well, is General Dynamics going to build these things? And I'm like, no, they're already built. And I saw 200 of them, approximately, in some big, giant warehouse facility, and I believe I was in the UK. And I got, at that point in time, that they had to be recalibrated for the average human DNA sequence. And I was like, well, that's interesting. What non-humans were using these. And we all know that now. So I know they exist, okay? So recently, in readings, when people have been asking me about it, I do believe that the military is in control of this operation right now with the med beds. And that is because of the insurance companies and liability insurance and big pharma and all the hands that could be on these machines and try to take them or ruin everything and say, no, you can't do this for the public. You have to go through the normal process to be approved for this. And that's when we lose all of our cures. So the military has control over the med beds until such time as all of that changes. And I think that's actually really genius with RFK in the cabinet. And then we've got Elon over there in his own position that they can't mess with. And I think Elon's going to be the face of the med beds. So, I got to write something down so I don't forget to tell you about this. It's really cool. And I have a theory. I have no idea if it's right. Okay, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. Okay. So, I think they have a cap on the amount of tickets that you can get. Okay, I do believe it is true that you can donate to an existing project or just to something like that and not have to do a humanitarian project to get med-bed tickets or codes or whatever it is. I'm just calling it tickets because I don't know what else to call it. At the exchange, what I saw when I'm doing these yearly forecasts and I'm explaining it to people, so you go up to exchange your currencies with one person. They set up the treasury account, do all these things, and calculate everything, give you a receipt. Okay, I'm not sure if you take your Zim bonds and go to that different table that handles humanitarian projects and things like that. Not sure if they calculated all at the first table, and then you moved on to that station. But then you go to a station and choose a big bank. Okay, and I believe there are 4. They will then set you up with a holding account. I just call it a holding account because I don't know what else to hold. This is an account that can handle and hold a large amount of money and receive that from the treasury. And then from there, you can move it into other accounts and invest with other banks or whatever you want to do. But you've got this holding account where you say, well, I want to move 40 million or 100 million. Okay, it can sit in that account until you decide what to do with it. So at that time, at that table, you get that set up with them, that account. that is when, and the wording was that came in, is that is when you can apply for 1% with that big bank. And they'll use that treasury account, what they see on the receipt that is in the treasury account, as your collateral. Okay. So there may be, because what I saw on the timelines for, and if this is as of now, if nothing changes, okay. What I saw, it was somewhere around mid-March, first, second week of March, that people got their 1%. Okay. And so if we get our notification sometimes this week, maybe we could exchange next week. There is some kind of delay that I see between going to the appointment and doing all of this and having access to that 1%. And what I think is going on here is that they need, so you give your cash to the exchange center. They sell it to the treasury. Treasury sells it back to the country. Other countries give the treasury the money. The treasury says, okay, yes, we've gotten all payments for this person. This money is legitimate. You can go ahead and loan out your 1%, whatever you want. We put our seal of approval on this treasury account, or how many there are. And then the bank says, okay, we give you your 1%. Okay. Looked like about a month or so after that the full access to funds. And I assume that is when the announcement is to go to gold, or that's when we start our in-country tier 5 exchange. Okay. Because once you start that, you tell everybody, okay, you can exchange dollars for notes. Notes is legitimate currency and can be seen on the street. All right. So with the MedBed appointments, so you go to the big bank table, and visions aren't exact. Then you go over to a table that deals with humanitarian projects, and I believe the MedBeds. And I believe that is where you get your tickets. At that point in time, that's where you turn in your humanitarian project, or I think you can donate a certain amount of your ZIM, not your total amount, not like 20% of your total amount, to get tickets. I think that there's like a cap on it, and let's just say like 5. But you could purchase additional. I think they'll give you a little leeway. I think they only put a cap on it so somebody doesn't walk in and get like 100 of them and go sell them on the street or something. Of course, I don't know why any people in there would do that, but somebody could get a hold of them. So what I found out is in the readings. Okay, this is just in the reading. So I don't know. I don't follow people that talk about med beds. Ever so often I see something from Sky. So I don't know if this is accurate or not, but this is what I got. So you call immediately when you get home that day or the next day and get on the list. Get on the waiting list. Depending on your city, how many sick people, how many older people, how many patriots you have in your city, and how many military bases there are close to you, that's going to determine how long you have to wait. They're going to prioritize people, and put the very, very old. I think actually got over 75 has priority, and terminally ill or disabled, things like that. So you make your appointment. Now, when you go to your appointment, and if I got that you get to see, first you sit down for like this consultation. Okay. And a couple hours, they sit you down. They tell you what a med bed is, what it does, what it can do for you. And then there's like different packages that you can do. Okay. You got your full restore. Now, a grain of salt with this. I don't know if I'm going to do that, because I think I saw that they shave your head. And like, that's probably like the best thing about me is my hair. And I'm like, I don't want to shave my head. But like, because I'm thinking, well, what if it doesn't grow back? I mean, like, what if it doesn't grow back? Because what they're doing is like the full restore, your hair just grows in the natural color. And so the big plan is to fix everything. I mean, total restore. I think they shave your head. Not sure about that. I could be wrong. So anyway, you go into this consultation and they tell you everything and you ask your questions. Then I keep getting this like a 3-day thing, and I don't know if that's for the full restore, but I do think you're going to spend some time there, go back and forth. Okay, so first day you got I guess they could group the scan and the consultation in the same day. So basically they tell you everything and you decide, okay, do I want to do the full thing where I walk out looking 25, or do I want to like fix everything inside? And then the body just naturally starts to look younger, and younger, and everything grows in the same color. And, the collagen production is under the skin and everything else. Or do I just want to fix something? Like if I'm blind, I just want to see, or whatever. So if you have anybody who's on the fence about it, once you got them a ticket and they just like, oh no, like what if like I have a cat hair on me and I come out with a tail or something? That's just way too out there for me. Tell them, listen, you're going onto a military base, and that lends credibility to the whole thing. You're going to sit down with their personnel and they're going to explain everything to you. And at that time, you can decide whether you want to do it or not. So then I think the next step is to get the scan. And then they tell you everything that's wrong, like everything that it found. And you can tailor make your med bed appointment. You can say, well, we could fix this, this, and that. That's probably okay because, I don't want to outlive somebody else who won't go in. But, I'd like to feel good until I get there, right? Whatever you want to do. And then I think it's like the next day, they'll do the procedure. But if you do like a full restore and you went in like 75 and you walk out looking 30, they spend time afterwards to evaluate where you're at mentally. Of course, taking a look at how everything's functioning. But they don't just do it, throw you out in the street and hope you don't lose your mind. They make sure that, okay, they ask you questions and see how you're doing mentally. I mean, is this okay with you? And so it is a process, and they do care what you want, and you can choose that. But I think the important part of that was, if there is somebody that you really want to get into a med bed that won't do it, that's scared, just tell them, just listen, just go to the consultation, sit down, hear them out, and then decide what you'd like to do. And I think you'd have, there'd be a better possibility that they'll go if you do that. But it is going to, prepare yourselves. Try to prepare yourselves for the shock, And try to prepare yourselves for the shock of getting to the appointment, the RV appointment, and having a lot more than you thought. Okay, let's just prepare for that possibility. Like that this has really happened. And like for me, I'm going to be sitting there by myself. I got my brother on standby. Okay. I'm going to call him in case I can't drive or something. And then I'm like, well, I could be like sitting in the car for your appointment. You could be like sitting in the car for mine. I'll just call you in if there's a problem. Like if I faint or something, I know some things that I can't tell you that are really good. Really good. You're really going to like the CBD gurus. You really are. Because they send a lot of people, a lot of boulevard. I mean, as far as humanitarian projects go, that in itself, for all of you, was huge. That is huge. So I'm just saying, I'm not a financial advisor, but should probably grab a few Boulevard. Time is it? So let's see, what else did I get in the readings? Told you about the timeline. And of course, the timelines are always as of now, and if nothing goes wrong. I know I have more Boulevard than anything because you know what? I make stupid mistakes sometimes. And then other times I'm brilliant. It's just either or. Okay. So I was buying Boulevard and I was buying the 1 millions, the Sopranos. So then I ended up, I didn't know you could get like 100 million or whatever. I'm just like, okay, well, got a bunch of those. So I bought a big order and I hit 2. I double ordered that order and I got a bunch. And I'm like, oh, why did I do that? I didn't realize I did that. Why would I do that? So then next time I ordered a big order, I double ordered again. I did it again. And I'm like, all right, something's going on. As clumsy and as silly as I can be sometimes, to make that mistake twice, not probable. There's a reason for it. There's a reason why I did that. And now it's starting to make sense. And at this point in time, I was talking to God about it. And I was like, what am I ever going to do with that much money? I mean, all I really want is a couple nice places to live. One, if it's too cold in one place, we'll go to the other. Like a motor home to drive the dogs back and forth and to go on trips. Have family gatherings, write books, do conferences. I want to do that because that seems like fun to teach in front of like a live group of people. I want to do that. And of course, I've got like 18 probably plus books to write, and I really need to get started on that. So, yeah, funds now would be good. But like, what if you end up with billions? Like, what am I going to do with that, God? I mean, like, and he said, it's not all about what you're going to do with it. I'm like, that's right. You basically create a dynasty, don't you? I mean, someone down the line could do something amazing with it. So don't worry so much about trying to figure out how to give it all away now. Plus we have time. We have all these years to think about it. And sometimes it's best just to do one thing at a time and as it comes to you. I mean, if you would have told me, how far do you want to go back on this? Nah. All right, let's just say 30 years ago, okay? When I was becoming an adult. If you could have told me, and I'm thinking, God, what am I going to be when I grow up? I'm in college, getting into college, and, I don't really know what I want to do. And maybe I'll just study business, marketing as responsible, Taurus. Decided to do that. If you would have told me back then that I would be sitting here today doing what I do now, I would have told you that somebody's cousin came over with the good stuff, okay? And you're massively stoned. There's no way that I ever saw this coming. Never. So, just understand that you don't have to have it all figured out in the beginning. You'll get ideas along the way, and you'll find ways to spend this money or to invest this money or to give this money and to help people. One idea at a time. So don't get overwhelmed and pass out and die at the RV exchange redemption appointment, okay? Let's not do that because we made it this far. Now we need to enjoy it, okay, and do our good work. I'm just going to go in like on autopilot. This is how I handle life. If something's too big for me, I just kind of go, just acceptance of everything at that moment. Yep, that is, yep, I'm totally a billionaire. Yes, I expected that. Absolutely right. No emotion whatsoever. Just go in, get it done. And then what I do, and I do this with like, it's probably not the best thing to tell you. And Dr. Sarah will tell you, well, it's probably not the best way to handle things, Jen. But like, if like emotional trauma is too big too, like the death of a loved one or whatever, I'll take that in at little pieces at a time too. And just keep moving forward. Just keep pushing forward. Just stay busy. So when I go into the appointment, I'm just going to be like, okay, yes, we need this paperwork. I have to meet with this person today. They're going to do some things on the computer. They're going to hand me something. I'm going to talk to this person and that person. Then we're going to go to lunch. Okay? And that's all that happened today. So that I don't like pass out or have an anxiety attack or whatever, because it's too much. Like, it's too amazing. It's too wonderful. So don't let yourself get worked up. Okay? I don't know. How's Rumble doing? Are we getting subscribers over there? I can see the comments, but I can't see what's going on over there. I guess I could switch screens. I need to get a better setup in here. Like more computer screens for this whole thing. Because that's what I plan to do. And you guys are like, oh, you're still going to do readings? You're going to still do... Most of what I do, I'm going to go back to doing how I used to do it, where everything that I do is free. And for some of you people that have been coming to me forever, I'll still do private readings, but I can't be doing hour after the way I do. I'll go from like, I don't know, like 8 hours of reading straight all day long. And then and then a show before that. And then you're so worn out at the end of the day. All you can basically do is eat something, shower, and stare at the TV or your phone for a little bit. And then you pass out. Get up and do it again. I'm not going to be able to write these books. I'm not going to be able to teach. Because I think that that's really what I'm supposed to do. I mean, yes, I do the healings. And yes, I get the answers. But I think my life purpose, my humanitarian project, isn't really so much about doing that for other people. It's teaching them to do it for themselves and other people. And so that's what I want to do. So the readings will be done on the shows. And I'll still do the shows. I might even do like 3 shows a week or whatever. And then I'll do free readings there. We set up the free reading Telegram group. And I told you guys, and you guys are, well, you're never in there. Well, it's because I told you that's for after the RV. So we'll do free readings. Marcy and Susan, I always did that before. They don't have to do it if they don't want to, if they want to go do something else. But I'll pop in there. I'll do free readings on the thing, but I'll still do healings. I'll still accept requests for healings, and that'll be ongoing. But most of what I'll do is the shows. And then so I can spend time writing. And just lighten the load. So that's why we want to build up. Well, right now, because it's good for me, because I'm divorced and stuff, and yeah, I need the $5 subscribers a month. So if you'd like to do that for just me, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome. Then I can worry less. But, yeah, so subscribe to Fallawsophy over there on Rumble. If you can do the subscriptions, I still got to go in there and link up financial stuff in there to make sure I can get it out. But I think we're good to go. I think I've done everything now, so that is good to go. Ugh, what a relief. Now it works. It's like sitting in the back of my mind all this time. You got to figure that out. You got to figure that out. Oh my gosh. So anyway, so I've got today, tomorrow, and Thursday, and then I'm off for a week, possibly 10 days. Thinking about it. Depends on how rested I get within that week's time. But then Katie, of course, she's having I had to pay all this money because as soon as we lost insurance, she had to have oral surgery to get the wisdom teeth out and everything. And I'm like, okay, baby. And so, so she's getting that done on the 26th, right in the middle of the vacation. But I get a few days before that to relax. Hopefully that goes well. Pray for Katie and pray for me that nothing happens to my baby and she doesn't have some reaction to it, or I don't like drugs. I don't like it. They're gonna do the sedation. And I always freak out about that. But of course, I'm gonna go sit in there and tell her everything's gonna be absolutely fine and you're gonna be great. And there's no reason to worry at all. And I'm gonna be a mess in the waiting room. So I have a feeling, though, I need to push the fear aside because I have a feeling that God always takes care of my babies. Number one, between me and him, as long as those girls are okay, I'll do it. Whatever it is, I'll be fine. Just take care of those babies. And they'll be okay. So, let's get to some questions. I don't know what else to talk about. Oh, crap. What time is it? Let me look at my schedule. Got a couple minutes. Sorry about that. Let's see what you guys are all saying. Praying for Katie for the oral surgery. Faith already did this like last year or something, but it wasn't oral surgery. Like me. Of course, when I was going to college and working 2 jobs and living on my own, and my stepfather was rich, they wouldn't pay for any insurance for me. So I had to do everything myself and pay for my college and everything else. And I was a good girl. He's a narcissist anyway. So, so when I had my wisdom teeth out, it was like one at a time. And, they were already through. Katie's aren't through. They're growing in towards the bottom teeth instead of up. So, like face came through. We were able to do those. But like when I got mine out, it was brutal. I just went in there. I'm like, how much? And you know what the coolest thing was? I had this old guy dentist, and that's why I like to go to the oldest, most experienced people when I have something done. And I walked in, and he goes, "Do you have any insurance?" I said, "No." Because it looks like you might have an abscess on this one. I'm like, yeah. He goes, "Well, if you had insurance, I'd have to give you antibiotics, send you home, and then send you to a specialist to get this out." He's like, "I can rip that thing out right now." I'm like, "Really? And I won't die?" And he goes, "I do that right now." I said, "How much?" He's $200. I said, "Done." He hits me up with a Novocaine, and I can still kind of feel it. And I'm like, just grin and bear it. I'm like, do it. Like, I rip it out now. Do it fast. As I told him, do it fast. And he did. And he got it out. These girls, our kids, are just so much more pampered. It's like she's going to go in and be sedated and all this stuff. I just half the time, with the Novocaine, I still felt it. I'm just telling people, you just get in and get it done. Okay? Because the Novocaine doesn't always work with me. Just get it out. Because I didn't want to get put out or anything. I always felt like I was going to, die or something. Even when I had the C-section to have, Katie, the lady looks at me and she goes, "We're not sure if you're numb enough to start, so you're going to have to tell us." And I'm like, "Well, what if I'm wrong?" I mean, like, I don't know. She goes, well, can you feel this? And I'm like, no. She goes, oh, yeah, you would have felt that. And I'm like, what are you doing down there? My life is an I Love Lucy episode. It really is. All right. Let's just, for today, I scrolled back pretty far. I'm just going to hit a couple questions at random, and then I got to start the readings for the day. Go until 6. Oh, just ask again. Come down at the bottom. Ask me again. Yes. So that's what I was getting, is that they can, like on the full restore, like in the machine, you will actually grow the hair. That's what I saw. I could be wrong. That's what I saw. Coach Sarah, I am not ignoring you. I will get back to you. Go ahead and share your stuff in the Fallawsophy chat. And for everybody else, Coach Sarah is allowed to share her stuff in my Fallawsophy chat. And you should all go and like her page. And she has guided meditations and everything. They're wonderful. She is wonderful. Okay. Should I move in with Lisa or stay living with my friend Shane until I get on my... Okay. I really don't think you have to worry about that right now, but the best... Lisa's going to be more comfortable if it comes to that. Okay? But we're not going to let that happen to Coach Sarah, right? Everybody go over there, and I'm going to share you right now so that we don't have to do that. Okay? Let's see. Our courageous community is Coach Sarah. I'm going to share something from her. I want you all to go follow her. And she has wonderful guided meditations that are empowering. There you go. Problem solved. I love you too. Wait a minute. I can't see him. When do I see you retiring? Susie. 3 weeks. I really don't know that. Most of the information I get is for me and my area, the United States. How's that going to roll out? Okay, so Tier 4B is international. But you're going to be... See, I don't know. Say, we've been focused on exchanging for US dollars. I don't know if that's what you do over there, but it's all going to be the same time, and it's going to be similar situations with the exchange centers. That's all I can really get on that today. Not if it was negative. Not if it made you afraid. So, what cards are for psychic people a lot of time? Now, tarot's got a certain way, and that certain cards mean something, and all this. But those people are supposed to be using those cards as a trigger, as to trigger their intuition on the subject. So a good card reader would look at the card and then say, okay, I give this a... So this, for you, this means, and then start with their intuition. if somebody said, oh my God, this terrible things are happening to you and everything's going to go to crap, no, don't believe that. No. I prefer someone who reads angel cards because, it just depends on the card reader, because if they're praying over it, then they've just decided who they're speaking to, who their answers are coming, who's assisting them in pulling these cards to trigger their intuition for you. Okay. So no, you shouldn't have too much trust in the card itself. You should always be praying first. Say, God, Jesus, help me choose a card for myself and help me trigger some kind of memory, or help me lead me to an answer, so that you eliminate any kind of bad guys spirit running around who can manipulate that tool that you're using. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for for subscribing to Rumble. Let's get that going. Because what I want to do later is just like, maybe even now, step back so much from like the constant readings all day long to make a living and pay the house payment, to like, maybe I'll do like, just reading shows like in the evenings. That would be fun sometime. Maybe even like on a Sunday night, we'll do a reading show for Rumble Rants or something, just to lighten the load. Thinking about it. All right, guys, I love you. And have a lovely day. And stay positive. I know it's been a long road. We're going to call this time the Dark Ages. Okay, number 2. Someday. But, I mean, we're there. I don't know what else to say. Anytime now, we'll move into 4B. And many other things happening. Like, I am so excited. Outside of the med beds and outside of the RV, I am so excited about the financial changes and the cures that are going to come out, and everything's going to happen for just everyday people. I mean, I just have so much to be happy about. So do you. So everything's going to be okay. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on Real News Live with Mike and Jen on Rumble. And why can't I get... Oh, okay. Have a good day. Bye.